Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. Hope everybody's having a great year. Y'all, it is 2025. Can y'all believe it? We made it through 2024. I bet everybody got bingos on their bingo cards, from aliens to bird flu to World War III. But it's time to wipe those boards clean, guys. Start a new game of bingo. It's 2025. And to start this year off, I thought I would share with y'all some repair shop myths, facts, and fiction. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of saving time, money, and frustration while fixing your own small engine equipment while watching in-depth tutorials, you've come to the right place, because that's what I do. I upload a couple times a week, and if that sounds interesting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. I love to read through the comments, and I will reply to all the early commenters. So let's get right into it. Some of you might know all of these facts or fictions, and some of you might know a few of them, but I'll tell you what, you'll be surprised at how many customers I had come in that didn't know any of these. So fact or fiction, number one, when you buy a brand new blade at the store and it's got all this paint on it and the cutting edge just doesn't feel sharp, should you sharpen your brand new blade? No, they're already perfect. Let me show you. The perfect angle pitch to a perfectly sharpened blade is 30 degrees. Let me show you an easy way to show if yours is pitched perfect. First, put on your specs. Next, you're going to get yourself a ruler. We're going to measure the width of the blade this way. And we are at 1/4 inch. Now, to see if our angle's at the perfect 30 degree, we're going to measure from this angle at the top all the way down to the cutting edge. And when we do that, we've got 1/2 inch. So to make sure that we have a 30 degree grade on our blade, we measure the thickness of our blade. We multiply that by 2. So we had 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. And if that's the grade of your blade from top to bottom of your cutting tip, you got 30 degrees. Now, a lot of people are really worried that it's not razor sharp. Well, you don't have to be. I promise you, if you sharpen this blade and make it razor sharp, put it on your lawnmower and go to mowing, in probably the first 30 seconds, it's going to dull down immediately to this same edge. Number 2, edger blades. Now, these are OEM Echo edger blades. And as you can see, all the edges are blunt on both sides. And I would have customers ask me all the time, do I need to sharpen it before I use it? Absolutely not. When it comes to edger blades, doesn't matter, sharp or not, it's going to work exactly the same either way. Number 3, fact, you're burning your chainsaw bar up. It has never failed when I have a customer come in and I'm putting a chain on for them or something like that. And I like to mention that their saw at some point has gotten really hot. If you see these blue hues like that right there, that little greenish blue tint there, you can see it all along the sides of these two saw bars. They've gotten really hot. Now, I point this out because I want them to be aware that at some point this saw has gotten very hot and turned the bar those shades of blue or green, which means it either ran out of oil, the oiler's not working correctly, or it could have just possibly been the type of wood they were cutting. I just like the customer to be aware of what's going on. But every time they would say, that's just the way the metal's tempered. No, it's not. Now, another thing that does attribute to your bar getting so hot that it'll turn blue is cutting with a dull chain. But I know you either just picked it up from being sharpened or it's a brand new chain. You've only made 2 cuts with it. It has to be sharp, right? No. That's a myth. It takes literally 1/2 second of cutting something wrong, a pebble, sand, dirt, to dull your chain, even if it's brand new. And so many customers never assume it's their problem. Now, a lot of people assume you've got this entire cutting swath, this blade at the top and coming all the way down the side that does the cutting. But the truth is, 90% of the cutting ability of this tooth has everything to do with this tiny little tip right here. If this is curled over at all or broken off blunt, this chain will get way too hot. And yes, you can screw up all them tips in one cut. So that's always something to check. Make sure you got some pointy, sharp tips. The majority of the time, you're going to see those blue hints where it goes into the saw, because that's the part of the bar that gets used the most. But like, for instance, on these ones, this one doesn't have any blue or green tint on either side. It looks pretty good. Of course, we got paint missing. That's normal. But, wow! That tip got hot. It's so hot that it's locked up. So yes, guys, myth busted. The blue, the green tints are definitely not normal. If you see that, that means your chainsaw is not oiling correctly. Number 4, hedge trimmers. I know you think yours is dull, but it's probably not. Now, before you head out to the repair shop and take your hedge trimmers to get sharpened and pay like $30 to $50, depending on what they charge you, you need to check this first, because I'm not going to say that I didn't have commercial customers and heavy-duty homeowners with a lot of bushes that would actually wear blades out enough to need to be sharpened, but the majority of the time, there's another issue. So it doesn't matter if you're going commercial or if you've got just an electric or battery-powered hedge trimmers, you got to check this. If you say neither one of these are cutting well at the moment. So they're not cutting, so you think they need to be sharpened. That's not it. The majority of the time, they work like scissors. And if you don't have your scissors rubbing perfectly next to each other, they're not going to cut anything. Check that out. You see that big gap right there? There's no way it's ever going to be able to cut anything in this entire section right here. So it's still cutting fine on the end and back here if I needed to, but this 4-inch section right here ain't going to cut nothing. Same way on my commercial ones. Look at them from the side here, and everything looks good until we get to here. And yeah, the blades are still together right now, but as they're moving, you see all that room right there? Those blades can come apart at any time. So if your hedge trimmer is not cutting, you go to check it, you notice that you do have a gap in the blades. Most of them are all the same. You've got your bolts going in through the bottom, lock nuts on the top. Same way on the commercial set, you've got your bolts going in through the bottom, lock nuts on the top. You'll probably, to not have it happen to you again, because it will be a reoccurring issue. I mean, you can do a quick fix just for the time being, but you're probably going to want to get new locking nuts. That way they will stay where you put them. Once you get your new locking nuts, you will just put your bolt back in through the bottom with your washer. You'll put your locking nuts down and tighten them all the way down. Come out 1/4 turn, and that should get you going. But don't forget, use a lot of lube. I use Chickanic in a bottle blade and chain shield. I like this on my hedge trimmers because it's biodegradable and it's plant-based, so it's not going to mess with any of your bushes. And last but not least, brush cutter blades. Can you put a brush cutter blade on a curved shaft trimmer? You can. Will you destroy it the first time you use it? You will. But why? Well, it's got a flexible shaft. Well, so does the SRM 225 or the Steel FS55. They all have flexible shafts, and they sell blade kits for those. What the curved shafts don't have, though, is a gearbox. So when that flexible shaft comes out of the clutch drum through the shaft, it goes directly into an adapter that goes into the back of your string trimmer head. On these ones, even though they have a flexible shaft that goes into the gear head, it's got the gears and the reduction and all that. So it doesn't actually put the strain on the flexible shaft from the head. So the truth about that one is it will destroy your trimmer. Don't try it. But before I head out, I do want to give a huge thank you. I cannot thank the people that went over to my Amazon store and purchased things, or the people that are my channel members. Because of you, Chickanic was able to donate over 45 family meals for Christmas. That means y'all helped feed over 180 people this Christmas who might not have gotten a meal. Your support means the world to me, and I just cannot thank y'all enough for letting me pay it forward. And if you find yourself coming back over and over again, think about hitting that subscribe button. It helps out the channel to make my videos shown to more people to save them time, money, and frustration in the future. If you haven't found me at Facebook, find me at facebook.com/Chickanic. Find me on Instagram at TheRealChickanic, or find me at Chickanic.com, where you get your own t-shirts, hoodies, and long sleeve shirts. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.